You say you want change, but you're addicted to comfort. You talk about freedom, but every decision you make is a negotiation with fear. You crave the extraordinary, but your habits are married to the ordinary. You say you're waiting for the right moment, but the truth is you're just waiting for permission. Let me say it clearly. The comfort zone is a death zone. It doesn't kill you quickly. It kills you slow, quiet, subtle, like rust eating away at steel. You don't feel it at first, but by the time you notice you've been hollowed out, your potential is not buried in some mystical location. It's hiding behind everything you refuse to confront. The conversations you avoid, the actions you delay, the boundaries you never set, the pain you keep escaping from, and the lies you keep telling yourself to justify all of it. If you want transformation, start with the truth. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are a product of your patterns. And the patterns that keep you safe are the same ones that keep you small. You don't rise by doing what feels good. You rise by doing what's necessary. That's the math of growth. It's not complicated, it's just uncomfortable. Your mind is not meant to be a jail. It's a tool, a fire, a force, but only if you train it. Only if you stop letting distractions raise it for you. Scroll long enough and you'll forget what you believe in. Listen to noise long enough and you'll forget what your own voice sounds like. Most people aren't thinking. They're just reacting, flinching, copying, existing in a loop they didn't design. A mind without intention becomes a mind under invasion. You have to reclaim it, rewire it. Refuse to be a passenger in your own skull. Your thoughts shape your lens. Your lens shapes your choices, and your choices build your future. So if you want a new life, don't start with gold start with your philosophy. You have to believe before you succeed. Not just in the vision, but in your ability to endure the cost. Because success isn't a reward for wanting. It's a reward for surviving. And the path, it won't ask for your excitement. It will ask for your obedience, your focus, your ability to execute without applause, without confirmation, without proof, because the greatest transformations happen in silence, in the dark, where no one sees you, where your discipline becomes your sanctuary, where you bleed for a future only you can see. There's a moment in every journey where the noise gets louder than the dream. That's the breaking point, the place where most people make a permanent decision based on a temporary emotion. They walk away, not because they couldn't succeed, but because they couldn't stay consistent. And consistency, whether you like it or not, is the gatekeeper of every reward you've ever wanted. Not passion, not motivation, consistency. The ability to do what you said you would do long after the feeling has left. You think greatness is a gift, but it's not. It's a byproduct of clarity, of systems, of brutal honesty with yourself. You can't build an elite life on excuses. You can't evolve if you're always escaping. The truth is, success is boring. It's reps, it's routine, it's revision, it's choosing to resume days when your soul would rather sleep. Stop asking how long it will take. Start asking how far you're willing to go. Because the ones who win don't have better resources. They have better reasons. They have made a decision to stop needing life to be easier and to start becoming stronger. That's mindset, not fake positivity, not delusion, but the unshakable belief that whatever's in front of you is not bigger than what's inside of you. And when you believe that, truly believe that, you stop folding under pressure. You start bending it. Your beliefs are not decorations. They are blueprints. Every action you take is a vote for the identity you are becoming. So ask yourself, what are you voting for today? Distraction or discipline? Excuses or execution? Comfort or confrontation? You don't need more time. You need more direction. You don't need more inspiration. You need more integrity to keep the promises you made to yourself, even when no one's watching, even when it hurts, even when your mind screams for relief, because that's where identity is forged. You think the universe owes you clarity, but clarity doesn't come from waiting. It comes from walking, from moving with intention into the unknown. Purpose is not found. It is built in the fire of decisions, in the friction of resistance, in the repetition of doing hard things. You don't need every answer to take the first step. You just need to stop waiting for life to feel easy. You think life is supposed to feel good all the time? That's not growth. That's sedation. And most people are addicted to it. But not you. Not anymore. Because you know what's at stake. You know what it costs to stay where you are. You've felt it in your gut, that ache that says there's more. And now you're done betraying it. You've spent too many days negotiating with your potential. Too many nights explaining your stagnation to yourself like it's justified. Too many years playing defense against your own greatness. But time doesn't care about your story. It only listens to your patterns. And your comfort zone, it's not neutral. It's active resistance. Every moment you spend in safety is a moment you spend forfeiting your edge. You don't just lose time, you lose sharpness. You lose instinct. You lose the fire that wakes you up with purpose and puts you to bed with peace. Growth doesn't come from asking for a lighter load. It comes from building stronger shoulders. No one is coming to carry you. No one is coming to drag you out of mediocrity. This is on you. Your clarity, your standard, your rhythm. No coach, no course, no mentor will ever replace the raw decision to rise. Because transformation is not something you study. It's something you bleed for. If your vision doesn't scare you, stretch you, demand a version of you that doesn't even exist yet, then it's not vision, it's memory. You're just recycling your past and calling it a future. But you weren't built for reruns. You were built for expansion. You were built to push the edge of what's possible, not just for the world, but for yourself. You want to know what separates the fulfilled from the forgotten? Intentionality. Not talent, not luck, not intelligence. It's the habit of living on purpose, of waking up and refusing to live by default, of saying no to what numbs you and yes to what forces you to level up, of trading dopamine for depth, comfort for courage, instant gratification for infinite impact. You don't need more motivation. You need more decisions that scare you. You need to burn the backup plan. You need to get so damn committed to the vision that quitting becomes more painful than failing. You think discipline is hard? Try regret. Try knowing you had one shot and you played it safe. Try watching someone else live your dream because you were too afraid to be misunderstood, too polite to be powerful, too addicted to comfort to choose chaos. That's what will haunt you, not the things you tried and failed, but the things you never had the nerve to begin. The most dangerous version of you isn't the angry one. It's the passive one. The one who tolerates, delays, agrees to things they hate just to keep the peace. The one who says, maybe someday, every damn day. You don't get rich with someday. You don't change lives with maybe. You don't build legacies by waiting for confidence. Confidence is not a prerequisite, it's a reward. And it only comes after courage. You've got to start walking like your name is already known, like your vision is already real, like your future self is watching every decision and whispering, keep going, I'm counting on you. Because they are. The version of you 5 years from now, they're either proud or ashamed. Because you'll either be a product of discipline or a prisoner of distraction. This is where most people cave. Right here, in the space between discomfort and transformation, where the path gets quiet, the results are still invisible, and your excuses start sounding noble. They'll say, rest is productive. They'll say, don't push too hard. They'll say, balance matters. But balance without direction is just drifting. And you weren't made to drift. You were made to dominate. Dominate your time. Dominate your morning. Dominate your inner world so your outer world has no choice but to reflect it. You want to change your life? Change what you tolerate. Raise your standards so high that laziness suffocates in your presence. Sharpen your awareness until excuses can't sneak past your logic. And walk so damn aligned with your purpose that comfort looks like a trap, not a prize. This is where you wake up. This is where the average version of you dies. Not with a bang, but with silence. With new thoughts, new rituals, new identities. Because nothing external changes until everything internal does. This isn't a motivational speech. It's a reminder that you already know, that you already have it, that you already are it if you just stop waiting for permission to become it. You don't need a new life. You need a new lens. Because the world isn't withholding anything from you. You're just filtering it through fear. You've trained your mind to search for limits, not possibilities. To protect, not expand. To survive, not evolve. But survival isn't the goal anymore. Growth is. And growth requires risk, not recklessness risk. The willingness to lose the version of yourself that's no longer enough for where you're going. The world rewards those who adapt, not those who resist. And if you're clinging to who you were, you're blocking who you could become. Stop worshiping consistency if it's keeping you average. Stop praying for clarity if you're not moving your feet. The universe is not moved by your potential. It responds to bold energy, clear action, relentless faith. And that faith, it starts with gratitude. Not the soft kind, not the passive, polite, thank you for this day version, but the kind that roars, the kind that looks at every setback and says, this is building me, the kind that sees pain as a sculptor and failure as a teacher. Gratitude is not weakness. It's vision. It's the ability to extract power from pressure, to extract meaning from the mess, to see every loss as leverage. Because here's the truth, life owes you nothing. You're not entitled to success. You're not guaranteed support. You're not promised clarity, closure, or comfort. But you are capable of becoming something so solid, so forged in fire, that nothing outside of you can shake you. That's resilience. Not bouncing back, but bouncing forward stronger, sharper, more focused. The ability to take chaos and translate it into wisdom. The ability to take betrayal and convert it into boundaries. The ability to take failure and turn it into fuel. Not by pretending it didn't hurt, but by refusing to let it define your story. Your story is not your trauma. It's your transcendence. Not what broke you, but what rebuilt you. The cracks are not weaknesses. They're windows. Prove that you were under pressure and you didn't fold. Most people spend their entire life trying to avoid being broken. You're learning to be unbreakable, to bend with the storm, to pivot with purpose, to lose what's unnecessary so you can become what's essential. Flexibility isn't softness, it's strength. Rigidity snaps, but those who know how to adjust thrive. So adjust, not to blend in, but to level up. Don't just change the plan. Change the standard. Raise the floor, raise the ceiling. Raise your self-respect so high that staying the same becomes unacceptable. And never stop learning, not from books alone, but from people, pain, process, and pressure. Every moment is trying to teach you something. Every person is either a mirror or a mentor. Every struggle is a syllabus. And the more you resist the lesson, the louder life gets. You don't need more answers. You need better questions. You don't need more followers. You need more self-awareness to know what drives you, what distracts you, what triggers your worst, and what unlocks your best. Because knowing yourself is the root of all power. Not just strengths, but weaknesses. Not just dreams, but doubts. Not just what you say, but how you lie to yourself when you're tired. You cannot master what you refuse to face. So face it. All of it. Face the fear, the insecurity, the impulse to shrink when things get hard. Face the pattern that keeps dragging you back to square one. Face the voice that says, you're not ready. You're too late. You'll fail again. And then prove it wrong. Because the truth is, you're not too late. You're right on time. Not perfect, but prepared. Not certain, but committed. You're not meant to have all the answers. You're meant to move anyway. You're not stuck. You're just scared to move without certainty. But certainty is an illusion. Movement is real. And you don't need perfect timing. You need brutal honesty. You need to look yourself in the mirror and admit, I've been hiding. I've been waiting. I've been holding back. And then let that truth become the spark that burns your old self down. There is no version of you that's coming to save you. Only the one you decide to become today. Not tomorrow. Not when you feel like it. Not when the universe gives you a sign. Now. Because you already know. You already feel it. That pull, that tension, that whisper that never leaves you alone. That's not anxiety. That's your greatness asking for a place to live. Let it live. Let it breathe. Let it take over the space that fear has rented for too long. It's time to evict every belief that says you're not enough. Every habit that betrays your future. Every excuse you use to protect your limitations. You don't need more proof. You don't need more time. You need to decide that this is the moment, that this is the line in the sand, that the old version of you doesn't get to keep speaking. Speak louder. Speak through your choices, through your calendar, through your boundaries, through your morning, through your standards. Let your habits become your new language. Let your life become your loudest argument, that you were always meant for more, and you finally believed it. There will be days you want to quit. So what? Let the weakness scream, but don't give it your legs. Don't let it walk you back to average. You owe it to the part of you that held on during the storms, the part that kept moving when no one believed in you. You owe it to that warrior to keep climbing, to keep bleeding forward, to keep choosing the hard road, not because it's noble, but because it's yours. Because it's the only road that leads to the version of you who can breathe in peace and say with zero doubt, I built this, not with luck, not with shortcuts, but with decisions, with sweat, with faith, with late nights and early mornings, with sacrifice, with scars, with the relentless refusal to live a life that felt borrowed. So burn the comfort zone, break the mental cage, bury the old story. Your future is watching, and it doesn't care how tired you are. It only cares if you'll keep going, because that's the price of clarity, of freedom, of peace, of power. You already know what it costs to stay the same. Now find out what happens when you don't.